Hey guys, good morning. I had to check if it was still morning. I've been very busy. Good morning. Happy Monday. It's Daryl here. It is 9:30 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. I've been thinking about constantly about making this video since I went to a picnic here in my neighborhood yesterday. I was invited to a local picnic. Um, I talked about this before, but this bothered me badly. Let me tell you what happened. I was invited to this picnic. I ended up sitting down with a group of older folks, um, having a little salad. It was a mix of men and women. This town is mostly white. Not that that matters. Just to give you an overall view of who I was talking to. Um, I ended up just sitting there with two or three older women, in their 70s, in their middle 70s. And the conversation turned to the Black Lives Matter movement. I'll address that in a little later or maybe in another video, but this is what I really want to talk about. Um, One of these women started talking about, I told them how I was voting for Biden. And she said that, this was pretty much her exact words, that Biden is he's going to cut Social Security. She's not going to vote for him because she's on Social Security and Medicare, and she'll be damned if she votes for Joe Biden. And Donald Trump is trying to save Social Security. And I sat there with my mouth open. Um, I think any Trump supporters watching this, I think you'll even agree that Trump has talked about cutting. Trump and all the other Republicans in the Senate and in Congress have talked about cutting, well, what they call entitlements. I hate that word. I worked as a truck driver, as an architect, as a draftsman for over 34 years, paying into that every single week. I even paid into that when I first started working with a paper route when I was 14 years old, if I'm not mistaken. I had been paying into that my whole life. That is my money. But that's not the point I'm getting to right here. So I'm sitting there with these three women in their mid 70s, and my mouth just drops open, and I start telling them. I usually, in this instance, I usually try to be quiet. I'm not I don't just start arguing. I like to let people talk because they're more relaxed, and you get more of a real feel for them, for their personality, for the truth. If you don't immediately try to confront them and put them on the offensive. So that's always been my tactic, to just kind of to listen. Um, but pretty soon I spoke up and I said, "You've got to be kidding." I said, "You do know, it's pretty much known in this country that the Democrats are for Social Security, without a doubt, and it's a pretty much known fact that the Republicans have always wanted to do away with Social Security, with what they call entitlements." It's a common, it is a common knowledge here in this country that's pretty much a given, no matter who's president. And I'm just dumb. I don't even know what to say because this is so far out in left field, so far from the truth. So I asked. I didn't want to start being argumentative. I have respect. These are my elders. It's a group of women. I'm not gonna be disrespectful, but I was curious where they got this information, and they wouldn't quite say. But I do know that they'd already said that they're not on the internet. Being in their 70s, they are not on the internet. So it's not any kind of media platform they got this from. It's not Trump's Twitter feed, but it is Fox News, without a doubt. One of these ladies had mentioned that her station is on, well, 61, she said, but that's that around here, that's our Fox News station. And this, I did another video where older people close to me and my family say these same things, and it infuriates me. What we have here is the literal brainwashing of our senior citizens. These are flat out lies and misconceptions fed to the senior citizens to get votes for Trump. Just bald-faced lies. Now, I know a lot of people out there are going to bring up CNN. Well, CNN does it too. No, no. Um, Truthfully, this is my opinion. Truthfully, CNN rides Trump hard. They call him to task, and deservedly so, for his constant lying like this. I have never seen an instance on CNN where they just flat out lied. Flat out lied. This is what we're talking about on Fox News. And then there's more stuff on Fox News where they're talking about, Trump and them are talking about these provocateurs and agitators, and and trying to turn around the Black Lives Movement. Then getting a little off subject, but then there's this whole comment by Trump Sunday about he seemed to put the Nazis in Iwo Jima. Iwo Jima was actually the Japanese, and kind of put them in the same category as, I don't know what his point was, but he was making the Confederacy here in the Civil War look like heroes when he was. Trump is confusing to begin with. I just meant to bring up another subject too. I watched this movie yesterday, Lincoln. His point was that what he was basically saying was that slavery wasn't a big issue in the Civil War. That's what he was trying to say yesterday. Nothing could be further from the truth. I believe Bo, the Fifth Column, talked about this just in his last couple of videos. You watch this movie, and it's an dead accurate representation of what happened in those years of the vote. It's a great movie. And just by chance, I happened to watch it yesterday. And then you watch this and you tell me that, and it's not just that. I mean, it's common, anybody that knows anything about history knows that the Civil War was fought. The South's whole economy was built on slavery. That's what they were scared of. That's what they feared. That they were going to have to they were going to have to start from the ground up. But that's what happens when you enslave people and treat them less than human, and when you try to own people. Without a doubt, the Civil War was fought over slavery, over the South's refusal to give up their getting enriched by owning other human beings. Like I said, I got off point though. Getting back to Fox News, and I was just dumbfounded yesterday. These women, I didn't argue with them. I didn't know what to say. I really didn't. I didn't want to be disrespectful. What were my options? I brought up the fact that, don't you guys know that it's common knowledge. If you look up, what could I tell them to do? Look it up on the internet, because they're scared. They still had flip phones. They don't know how to work computers, and I didn't have anything on hand. I just walked away eventually. Smiled, told them to have a nice day, thanked them for their generosity, and I left. And I let them believe what they believe. But again, it scared me and shocked me. It is a brainwashing, a flat-out brainwashing of our senior citizens. I saw one quote that rang true. It was something along the lines of what our parents feared video games would do to us, to my generation back in the 80s. Well, Fox News is now doing that to our senior citizens, to them, the same people. I don't know if you understand that, but it's a good statement, a good quote. So once again, I am dumbfounded, and I can't believe what's happening on Fox News. It's purely a lying propaganda channel made to get Trump reelected under any means possible. Flat out lying, misconception, exaggerations, whatever you want to call it, but just flat out lying. It's troubling. This has something that has to be changed here, where people don't know what the truth is anymore. We have to get back to truth in reporting the news. I believe it's called the Fourth Estate or whatever, reporting. We need to get back to that. There's freedom of speech, and then there's outright brainwashing and lying and misrepresentation. And especially the fact that these are older senior citizens, and they're scared. They're scared of this world. Then Fox News puts on all these pictures of fires and cop cars being overturned, and these poor women are shaking, in their slippers over this. It's a real problem, and it enrages me, especially when it happens to my own family. All right, you guys have a good Monday.